With us tonight to get a closer look at what's happening at DHS and what could happen next is Alan Orr. He's an immigration attorney based in Eagleville, Tennessee. Mr. Orr, you know we hit 2 million apprehensions this year in a fiscal year. First time ever we've seen that number. The outgoing Border Patrol boss has defended sanctuary cities. He's been criticized by some senators as too sympathetic to illegal migration. With that in mind, he's being pushed out. Is the Biden team maybe getting more serious about enforcement?
I think the Biden administration has already been very serious about enforcement. I think the first thing to sort of have a conversation about the southern border is to know that it is a situation that has existed beyond all administrations. And the struggle and the challenge of that is related to Congress not passing an immigration bill. In addition to that, we have never lived through a time such as COVID before. And now that these countries have a lot of political turmoil, as well as COVID opening up the world a little bit or making the world a little bit smaller, a lot of immigrants are coming to our southern border. And unfortunately for those immigrants seeking asylum, they're not being processed at land ports. So that's causing the confusion.
And of course, we're also seeing a change in who is coming. It used to be, single Mexican males who were adults. Now we saw Central Americans. Now we're seeing Venezuelan, Nicaraguan, Cuban, Haitian. Under Trump, Border Patrol was very strict. Some people felt too strict. Under President Biden, it's been called too permissive by critics. Who would be the right type of person to handle this hot potato of an agency?
Right. So I think the former director stepped down because he didn't have the support of the people above him or below him. And he didn't grow up in CBP, and that was part of the problem. I think that's why he made a timely departure in his resignation. And I think it's a very complex job to have, for the very reason that we keep looking for a president for a solution that needs to come from Congress. Because until we're able to manage our legal immigration system to address the needs of the influx that we're having, then there's a problem. Asylum is legal and it was passed by Congress. If Congress wants to go in and end asylum, then they can end asylum, and therefore people won't be coming to the southern border claiming asylum anymore. So Congress is the person who needs to sort of address that. And the right mix isn't either Trump or Biden. The right mix is to follow the law and to process people individually. The Trump administration separated a lot of families. And also under the current administration, a lot of families are being separated, as well as different preferences are given to different nationalities. If you're Ukrainian, we'll take 100,000 of you. If you're Venezuelan, we'll take 24,000 of you. If you're Haitian, we don't want any of you. We'll send you to Guantanamo Bay. That's not how our immigration system should work in the United States of America. That's not how we carry out justice for immigrants.
Finally, Mr. Orr, can you put a finer point on that congressional issue you said there? Because let's put aside personnel for a moment. Let's talk policy. Fareed Zakaria, he was on Bill Maher last week saying law and order has broken down. He said, I'm an immigrant. I'm very pro-immigration, but our system is set up for people to game the system, his words, claiming asylum because once you're in, it's really hard to get you out, even if you're not here. And he said, economic migration is not the intended purpose of asylum. So what is the fix to this whole program?
So I think that while I respect him as being an immigrant and coming to the country, he doesn't work in the immigrant profession, so I wouldn't weigh his conversation with regards to why immigrants come here. They can also be fleeing persecution and also looking for work. So those things aren't mutually exclusive. So his ability to exclude a group of people doesn't really rectify the system. And until recently, the largest number of people who are undocumented in this country were people who came in and overstayed their visa, as we recently saw in the Nancy Pelosi issue. So it wasn't really someone coming from the southern border. It were people who were coming in with a visa, then overstaying that. And that's a large capacity. So when we think about comprehensive immigration enforcement, it can't be just one area of people. It has to be everybody when we're serious. And so what we can't do is pit good and bad immigrants against one another. A comprehensive program will address all the pushes of immigration. And part of that push right now is that we have a regulatory system that's based on the 1980s. We need to change that and update that system so there'd be more numbers, so there'd be more pathways for people to get here. Everyone notices currently there are a number of jobs that could be filled by immigrants that are now vacant. And I think during the holiday season, we'll start to see that more of these jobs that need to be filled. Farm jobs across the country are going unfilled because we're not able to set up a system where people can come in and work and then return to their home country or come in and stay and have a pathway to some sort of area. But part of what the immigration conversation is about is not about new arriving immigrants. It's about immigrants that have been here, the 11 million that have been here for 10 to 20 years, or the undocumented who've had undocumented status since 2012. That's a different fix than people that are coming at the southern border. And for me to say to the listeners, anytime someone says immigration, all they want to talk about the southern border, they're not talking about a comprehensive immigration program at all. They're only talking about a certain regularization for certain groups of poor migrants.
Alan Orr, I appreciate it. Thinking of it that way, if you're driving a car from the 1980s, you probably have some problems with it, and you're saying we're working with the system from the 1980s right now. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.